Here we go. Indeed, greetings unto you, beloved and holy friend. I thank you so much for joining me here again, sharing this space with me, sharing this day with me, showing up again. Man, I did a lot of listening again today, as we do sometimes. And I gravitated towards Ram Dass again. I think it was yesterday we talked about this, but maybe the day before yesterday, but let's go again. Just, like this constant flow of recognition. And he said something that really kind of intrigued me as well, where he said that if you can say something simple enough to the effect that we can understand it on an emotional level, you can convince people of anything. And it's a fascinating topic to me, because what I'm trying to not only convince other people of, but trying to convince myself of as well, actively, is this feeling that love is true. It's something that we say, but it is very much a feeling in me as well. And this feeling is something that is so resounding, so sure, so resonating, that it's something that you want to share with people. It's a feeling of truth. Oh, actually, we're live properly. I can read your comments. Goodness, how about Kira? Thank you for joining me, Edmund and Cable and Yader and Big Cheat. Oof, he says, "Thank you, my friends. I love Ram Dass. Me too, Yader. It seems. Me too." And there's something he said as well. It made me laugh. And he was like, "You want to have someone." If you're going to learn something from someone, you want them to be a little bit, what did he use exactly? A scoundrel? I think it's something like that. You want to be playful. You don't want to be like serious all the time. Yeah, I like him. I like him a lot. Like the stuff that I've been listening to him is when he was already in his 60s, and then talking about this stuff. And like hearing him talk from this perspective where he's been through all of it, he's grown through this whole process. Hearing him, like one of the lectures I listened to today was called The Pitfalls and Struggles or something like that of Spirituality. And he was going into explaining how like people become so obsessed with one pursuit of spirituality and then become classist / superior in their thinking to others when they don't follow that same thing. When it is at that level, that fundamental I'm right, you're wrong, my way is the only way to do it, that we keep running into problems. He also talks a lot about making an effort to live a human life. And then Cable shared something, technically it was more the person who made the video's opinion, but he kind of spitballed from the saying that Nietzsche proposed, that we are our own worst enemies. And I believe Nietzsche, he understood a lot about reality, if you will, but I also think that in his understanding of things, he trapped himself. And that's something I'm trying to be aware of as well, to not get caught in that same kind of trap. Because in his awareness, he kind of gave away a lot of his divinity. Like he became so aware of his human nature and the things that he's prone to as a human, that he completely abandoned the possibility for him to get better. And like Nietzsche lived a little bit of a like if you know what life he led, and the way that he died and the stuff that happened to him prior to his death, doesn't sound exactly like the Disney story of model behavior, how you want to live your life, for example. And again, it made me so aware, made me so aware that even if you're in a little bit of a bad trip, if you will, I don't know who said that. I think it was Terence McKenna who was talking about Nietzsche being on a bad trip. The dude was just not having a good time, man. Shame. He was just not having a good time, and he was intelligent enough to understand some of it, but not all of it, and it messed him up. And I'm trying to stay unmessed up myself, to like sometimes no prevail, sometimes some prevail. You know how it can be. Thank you for the love, Cable. I appreciate you so much, man. Oh, damn. They updated Reddit. I can reply on mobile now. I'm happy to hear that, man. Now you can utilize that feature. Both serious and fun are part of the same lovely journey under the sun. With your sentence, I want to run. Oh, damn. I'm running out of rhymes. I'll take out my gun. Cable, I love you, dude. I hope you know, every single one of you friends, I love you so much. You know, like life, oh man, it can take you on such exquisite journeys. We shouldn't get stuck on any of those journeys though. Another thing, you know, in this lecture that I was listening to, Ramdas goes into talking about how it is possible to get caught in what you think of as spiritual enlightenment. And there's another thing that he said that I was like funny. He mentions enlightenment is the ego's ultimate disappointment. And I was like, damn, yeah, but that's the point, you know, that's kind of what it's about. It's about getting past your I am a small ego and then moving into the realization that you are nothing, and as nothing, you know, nothing special, you are a part of everything, and as a part of everything, you are everything. That is just, it was absolute bliss. It was absolute bliss. And I was doing this while helping my mom with her baking business. So I was like, I had my hands busy and I was just zoning out listening to this dude. Brings me so much joy, you know, and I really look up to these individuals as well. Being able to communicate in ways that people want to listen, being able to talk about things that people find fascinating. Not so much to try and benefit from that in itself, but something he mentioned as well, where none of us are enlightened, none of us are free, none of us have escaped the turmoil unless all of us have. You know, two different types of Buddhism as well, where one type of Buddhism, you're basically trying to get yourself out of the game, and another type of Buddhism, everybody needs to get out of the game collectively. And then there's that, at least the third opinion, or the third feeling, that we're not supposed to try to get out of the game. We're supposed to be here, you know. This is as much a part of the game as trying to get out of the game would be if you want to participate in said game. And it's too much sometimes. But before I get into it, I want to read some more of your comments as well. Let's say something worth saying. Everything in creation contains the perfect love of Source. The rocks, leaves, feathers, even the people shouting in the background. The air making noise. The pumping some air into that container, pressurized vessel. All of it contains the perfect love of God, Source, the universe, all consciousness, spirit. As do you, friend. Your question made a poem arrive, Melt, and I had to send it back your way as well. What's that grinder? It's like, I don't know, dude. Small steel, no name brand grinder, dude. Grinds weed very efficiently. As efficient as grinding goes, I lead. Nice, Edmund. I will have to check. I don't have it yet. Are you also on iPhone? I'm guessing. Yeah. Edmund, seriousness is the disease of the ego. I feel like that is one we said before on here. Seriousness is the attachment to the ego, but you're close. You're close though. Still, like I know exactly what you're talking about, but now I'm trying to find it myself as well. Seriousness is the illusion of ego, the attachment of ego, the alignment of ego. Because again, you know, and it's very difficult for us to fathom in that way, but when you don't have that seriousness as your fundamental driving force, you kind of let go of aspects of your ego as well. What's the opposite of seriousness? Playfulness? Or can I set our intention for playfulness? Just because of you, Toasty. Let's be playful with 2 L's. Playful. You know what? Just to make it even more full, even if it doesn't need 2 L's, I can just pretend there's a 1 less L. So, towards being playful, friends. Kevin, I'm sorry, my autocorrect that to you. Don't worry about it at all. I'm sure he's completely okay. Hey, friends. Hey, Charles. Thank you for joining us, my beloved friend. I've been thinking about you today, actually, dude. I hope you're doing well, man. Ooh, the self-trap. I'm glad you brought that up, friend. I feel that was something I was struggling with for a while. I've been feeling it, Cable. And like on a weird level, there is this part of myself that wants to kind of shake you. Ooh, man, this thing is definitely resined up. Be like, Cable, the fuck are you doing, dude? Why? Why, Cable? Why? And you're like, but it's fine, I'm being playful, dude. Don't worry. I'm gonna get out of it again. I know, dude. Yes. I've begun the identification though. So now all there is to do is to walk the path ahead while choosing what to create. I agree completely, Keval. That's the only way, my friend. Management, Annie, Lisa. It's been a while, my friend. Thank you for joining us again. How have you been? Where have you been? If you'd be willing to share with us. Oh boy, this is more exciting than it. That self-trap can be hard to unlock. But it sounds like you're moving towards that forward path. Absolutely. And just being aware of it is already a step in the right direction. I've been thinking a lot about what we were talking about yesterday, about how there's a lot of, bad stuff happening in the world right now. But we can give ourselves some credit that we are trying to bring good into this world, regardless of the amount of bad we see. We're not using the amount of bad we see in the world as an excuse or a scapegoat to be bad ourselves. And quite the contrary, it's easier to be bad in that circumstance, and yet we're still choosing to align ourselves with light, align ourselves with love, with the understanding that we're here for one another. And I appreciate you so much for that, friend. Thank you for doing what not everybody is brave enough to do. As we continue to, I'm sure it's going to turn out well. Can't not, right? Momentum is inevitable. Even if it doesn't happen in our lifetimes, we would have laid the groundwork for it to happen in our child's lifetimes or our children's lifetimes. And that's what's most important. To being playful, before I get too heavy. This is not my best work, but I'll accept it. Yes. Makes me think of a conversation I had. One of the things I really enjoy telling people when they ask me about my weed smoking habits, and you see, that is what I was worried about. I knew that in my closing of this, I made a mistake, and I thought it would be okay. Alas, I was wrong. We will have to start over again. I'm sorry, Fred. But, no compromising. If I'm going to smoke something, best believe it has to be at least 90% perfect. There's no hitting 100% perfect. But the closer I get, the gooder the brain chemicals feel. Yes. How have you been, friends? Please do tell me, as I'm struggling to get myself oriented, starting with another joint roll. The context is automatic now. Absolutely. I hate writing emails. Then stop, friend. Email writing is my job, he says. Well, find a new job. I don't know where to start. I mean, you'll never know where to start unless you do. Right? So, you got this, dude. What's your situation? I'm an unemployed person living in South Africa. a country with one of the highest murder rates, one of the highest rates of unemployment, and one of the highest rates of severe poverty. That's my situation, friend. But regardless of all of these things, regardless of the country I find myself in, we can still choose, out of our own volition, out of our own will, and love. And we can show up in that love, and we can share that love with one another. And that's what's most important. To being playful. Playful. I'm still not sure if it's 2 F's or 1. I feel like it's 1 F now that I'm thinking about it a little bit more. I'm still gonna write both. Oh shit, we dropping bars? It seems that way. It seems that way. I mean, write me some bars to drop, dude. Management, very much so. It's hard, but we can only keep walking and identifying. Yep. Yes, I'm on iOS, but had to check for an update. I have it now. Sick. I'm happy that they at least did that. It's a one step in the right direction. Notifications would be nice as well. I hear Cable internally screaming. But yeah, let's see. I do really enjoy this platform nonetheless, so I'm going to try and support it as much as I can. How can you accomplish your work profession to the best level without some sense of seriousness? That's very true, friend. It's very, very true. It depends. It depends on what you want to attach your seriousness to, and that's the way I kind of consider that question. Do you want to attach your seriousness to the actual job that you're doing, the actual profession that you're pursuing, or do you want to attach your seriousness to the underlying reason you're doing that? Be it to take care of your family, be it to take care of yourself, be it to try and push the progress of the whole forward. That is something you can invest a little bit more seriousness into. But if you invest all of your seriousness into, just your own personal identity in relation to your job, how you think of yourself in this situation and this setting, that is when that seriousness becomes a little bit futile, or at least juvenile, I think is an even better word. But it's very hard to maintain that balance. So people opt for one or the other. But that's a great question, though. Thank you so much for asking it, my friend. So, sorry guys, I was in a funk trying to pull myself out. But I definitely missed you, Melt family. And we missed you, Lisa. We're so happy to have you here again, my friend. Welcoming you with open arms. Know that any funk you're in, we're here if you need to reach out to someone, We'll have a helping hand hanging, into said funk that you're in to help you out of it. And we'll expect you to help us out of said funks as well. Sending down a rope of love and support. Grab on, Lisa. You see? I mean, I said hand, but Kira said, a rope of love and support, which I think is just as powerful. Do take it, Lisa. We're here for you, my friend. Missed you. I'm glad you're here now. There we go. Grabbing and sending love and light. Thank you, friend. Missed you, Yader. Glad the space. I'm smoking some black tar. Black tar? Isn't black tar heroin or something? Goodness, friend. I mean, I hope you're in a safe space or something. Or that you're joking is what I'm hoping for more, but cheers to you, I guess. No judgment. Oh, hey, there you. How's my fam today? I'm doing well. I'm doing really well. I've been feeling a little bit slow today. Maybe it's because I've been listening to things this whole time, and I've been listening to things that... I mean, all of it has made sense, if you will. But it's been a lot. It's been sometimes too much. So I've been feeling slow. But now that we're in the space again, I don't feel too slow, if you will. Not as slow as I... I'm just happy to be here, Siobhan. How are you doing, my friend? Oh, hey, there you. What's up, Siobhan? How do you afford to live? I afford to live at the moment by the grace of my parents, my friend. They have allowed me to move back home after my stints working. A little bit in the city, a little bit outside of the country. And then during my stint outside of the country, COVID broke out. And then, flights were cancelled. My visa expired. I got arrested and stuff. And then I got to leave the country on a repatriate flight. And then after said repatriate flight landed, my parents came and picked me up, and I've been staying with them since. And during this day, I've been asking myself what comes next, what am I supposed to do next? And for the longest time, I've been asking myself, what it is I want to do, how it is I want to do it. And every single time, content creation came up as something that I genuinely feel drawn to / resonating with, since I was 16. And never was something that I could get myself to do because I never knew what to do. That was one of my biggest boundaries. And then not only that, but the possibility of it not working out, the possibility of me not being able to make a living, not being able to afford a place to live or food to eat, and then also what my parents or society is going to think of me if that is the case. And I just had to make a decision. Fortunately, I'm very, very grateful to have parents who are willing to support me in this decision. And I can't expect them to support me in this decision indefinitely. But for the time being, they are willing to, my friend. Thank you for asking these good questions as well. How about you? Tell me a little bit about yourself. Heartbeat party. Grid work for my self-portrait is all done. Yes. So, man, Toasty, this is a trip for me, dude. I guess I've been thinking about you, and I've been thinking about said self-portrait, and I've been thinking about the fact that you told me, I can whip the whip a little bit, if you will, and then I've been still like, no, I have said whip in hand, but I'm going to just let said whip lay down for now, until I feel, there's a calling, from the universe to whip the whip. And now, instead of whipping the whip, you just kind of came forward with it yourself, dude. I'm so happy to hear that, man. Do you want to do, I think you might have replied, but I want to ask again, are you going to do a stylized portrait, dude? Like the one you kind of did of me, or, the anthropomorphized little lion? Are you going to do something like that? Or are you, I still kind of see you working with your colored pencils because, dude, you have skill with that alone. So I'm curious, man. I'm really looking forward to seeing it. Good morning, sister. Have you done a self-portrait before? They're intimidating for me. I can think so as well. I've not even thought about attempting one yet. Wait, wasn't he confused about 2 L's? No, 2 F's. Now it's 2 F's. Right. Play. Hey, Scarmelia, can't be on long. It's okay, my friend. Thank you for sharing the space with us for even a second. I'm a reply machine today, Lamau. You just hit them all, Yater. Scar, have a great day. This is fun. It really is, right? I mean, now, for me, especially when I was replying to other people's comments in someone else's stream, for example, I would and then type out their entire name and then type my message so that they would be able to see their name next to the message and know that it's specifically sent for them. And now, instead of doing that whole loop, I can just press the reply button. It's so stonks. I love it. Hit that shit up. Okay, mulberry. Interestingly enough, this tree behind me is a mulberry tree, dude. Mulberry positive, actually. Well, towards and to being playful, my friends. Yeah. Being playful can be kind of spicy, but it can be kind of nice. Freaking just words, yeah. Small little words can carry so much power. You know what that makes me think of? It makes me think of those vowels. I think they were called vowels, of words or sounds, mantras, that the Egyptians used. They were so sacred they weren't allowed to be written down. I mean, if I had a time machine, like, I want a time machine that's not just like one use time machine. But if I had a time machine, that would definitely be one of the things that I would want to, like, pop into and listen. So that's the word. What do you think about certain words, certain sounds that have power? It's been proven now that we can use sound to levitate things. We know that's possible. So, it's possible for us to literally physically alter our external world with sound, albeit frequencies. How possible is it for us to affect maybe the metaphysical with the words we say as well? This is not exactly a playful topic, but it is something that fascinates me. I'm going to a bachelorette party today. That sounds amazing, Scarmelia. I hope you have an absolutely amazing time. I don't know if this is bias, from what I've seen about American TV, but when I think bachelorette party, I think, straws with penis tips and, balloons, very sexualized balloons and stuff like that. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. But do tell me if it's going to be one of those bachelorette parties. In that case, I hope you don't take your kids, Carmelia. I always love your emoji use. On fleek, Chauvin. Cute burp. It is amazing. It's a slow day. Annie, for me too, friend. It's been a slow day for me as well. I'm happy to be catching up. I feel like now, finally, instead of it just being slow, it's calm as well. And I'm happy to be sharing it with you, Annie. How have you been, my friend? Please stay away from opioids, friend. No judgment at all. Just know where that path leads. If anyone needs help, we are here for you. Absolutely. The thing with opioids as well is the opioids aren't the problem. The fact or the pathways, at least, the opioids take to do what they're doing is the problem. Opioids fundamentally are there to help you manage your pain responses to things. And living in a world where a lot of us are very scared and a lot of us are in a lot of pain and suffering, just, even being a compassionate being and looking at the state of the world, having something that gives you relief external from you having to, find peace in your environment is something that's obviously going to become addicting, because it gives you an escape without you having to put any work into it from a personal growth standpoint. And in that way, it can be something that is so destructive. If you're going to go into a hospital and you're going to get a freaking piece of your organ removed or something like that, or a tumor removed, then obviously, the morphine they use is heroin. Being put under with said morphine, that's not a problem. Because that's what it's meant to do. It's supposed to knock you out, it's supposed to take you completely out of your experience, turn off your consciousness for X amount of time, so that you don't have to deal with that pain. But using that as a method to just escape the pain of this reality sometimes is going to be robbing yourself of so much of the experience. So I might have been jokingly talking about not being in judgment of you if you smoke opioids, and I'm not. But it's not something that's going to serve you in the long run. And I do believe, and I'm pretty sure no one of us here are smoking opioids, but just as something that's worth saying, that is definitely one of those. Are you able to enjoy the slowness? I am trying to, at least, Jeter. I'm very much trying to. Got arrested and stuff. Like, no big deal about. I mean, I did mention this time, at least, I got arrested because of my visa issues. So, I wasn't a felon, I wasn't killing people and then getting arrested. I happened to be a foreigner in a country which happened to be undergoing a pandemic, which meant flights got boarded, which meant that I couldn't leave the country, which meant that my visa expired. So it was very much got arrested out of circumstance, not out of malicious or personal bad decisions. I mean, technically it was a decision of mine to go to China in the first place, so it was a vibe nonetheless. I learned a lot. I wouldn't undo it even if I could. I don't want to do it again though. Yes, it's John Smoke. Yes, the king of the bog. Yes, I'm the king in the bog. Thank you, Hashish. It's nice to have you here, my friend. Thank you for joining us and being so kifering. I appreciate the manic energy, dude. Mm. This right here is the best content creation. Thank you so much, Yader. It means more than you know, dude. I still want to do more. The thing I know I have to do first and foremost is edit these live streams down to something that's like 5 to 10 minutes. But it takes me like 3 hours. It takes like 3 hours out of my day to do that. Like, yeah, maybe 3 hours is a bit much, but 2 hours minimum. And I'm like, dude, sometimes even longer. I do want to, but again, Cable, he's probably not here anymore, but we're our own worst enemies. I know, fortunately, that it is now. It's been done, you know. Content has been made, if you will. It's like right now, it's maybe a rough resource. If some very efficient miner comes along and can chip the good bits out of it, then maybe it can be something later. Right now, trying to be calm, even though I have the monkey jumping. Do it, more, more. I'm like, no, I can. Do I want to do more now already? Packing too light. No, this thing is doing fine, my friend. I just keep not smoking it. Not to discount others, but I do truly value this. I value you, Yader. Like, I mean, if anything, if it's only us, then it's something that's valuable nonetheless. You know, no one can take that away from us. Cannot take our experience. And there's nowhere to conceptually take it either. Just smoke it. It's been smoked. No sprinkles. Don't worry. We can just relax here, dude. Be super calm. I'm lit right now. Thank you for joining me, Cal. Wow. I've seen some roll. I've never seen some roll as super doobie. This is a super doobie. I'm happy I could be your first, if you will, my friend. Doc, yes. I am beside you, my friend. You are not walking alone. Love you, Cable. It's hard, but we can only keep walking and identifying. I wonder if he's still here. Toasty the Mosty, my friend. Couldn't agree more. You doobie smokers are beyond cool. I appreciate you sharing your love, my friend. I mean, I don't think it's the smoking of the doobies that makes you cool. I think maybe whatever, you know, society identifies as someone who is cool, maybe just usually has an aversion to the status quo, how things have been, what they're told. So maybe, you know, one leads to the other. Maybe people rebelling against authority / trying to be their own person is something that's perceived as being cool. And then because a person is like a rebel and doesn't want to follow the rules that have been like dictated to them, they choose to try these things. It's something that kind of makes me think about where our society is going to go as well. You know, like for me, like marijuana was something that was very stigmatized for me growing up, and alcohol was something that I was introduced to. Like, you know, I saw my parents drinking, well, my dad drinking. My mom never drinks really. Yeah, I've seen her maybe like drink a glass of wine once a year or two, but no much more than that. But my dad would drink, so I've seen from a young age that this is something that's socially acceptable, and I'm pretty. I don't want to, you know, say things that sound self-indulgent, but I've been keen about behavior for a very long time in my life, and I would notice there are behavioral changes in my dad when he would start drinking. You know, he was never abusive or something like that. But I would notice changes in his behavior and the way that he would talk and what he would say, the way he would behave, his body movements, you know, how he would communicate, what he would choose to communicate about. I would be very aware of these things. And then when I was like 14, 15, 16, drinking was like a pastime because we live in a kind of a small town and there's not much to do other than drinking. So we would go to friends' places and then we would, you know, be drinking beers or vodka and cream soda or whatever. And it would be a fun experience because it at first kind of enlightened me to the fact that alcohol can be something that can be used as a social lubricant. And it can be seen as something that helps people break down some kind of barriers to communicating in certain ways. And the way that I understand that now is just if a bunch of people do the same thing, be it drink the same coffee, eat the same meal, smoke the same joint, you know, drink beers together, there is on a fundamental level an altering of consciousness that is now a new, almost like in a scientific term, normal. So because that is one of the normals you can find in each one of those individuals, there is some sort of in tune, if you will, happening between those individuals. And I realized then that it can be something that helps me become more in tune with the other individuals. But in doing so, alcohol also made me less in tune with myself. And the values, the alignments I had with inside of myself. And it became more an external tuning of my decision making to what, you know, the friends wanted me to do. If more drinking was the thing that was, you know, being pushed in consciousness at that point, then more drinking was what was going to happen to consciousness in that time. And I identified that, or at least I completely stopped that behavior when I got so drunk that I couldn't remember what happened the previous night, and I completely ceased that behavior. And during that time, I started smoking weed as well. And weed was never something that would inhibit my memory to the point where I couldn't remember what happened the previous day, and it would never change my behavior. In like actually, where alcohol would allow me to be more in tune with external states of mind slash ideas slash alignment with feeling or intention. Weed helped me to be more internally in line. Hello, yeah. Hello. And it gave me a little bit of information to communicate from. You know, where I was trying to find the communication from an external point, you know. Something was trying to be said by this other person, so I was trying to entertain this idea. It allowed me for the first time to try and find things that I wanted to talk about for myself. And I think that's where, at least in me, the switch happened, where now I smoke weed instead of drinking alcohol. You've been rolling that shit for 40 minutes, dog. I was rolling it twice, so yeah, I mean, I am sorry, but I'm not sorry. You know, if I rushed it, then I would have been frantic. I would have been smoking weed from a rushed perspective. No, the perspective, it's playful. Sometimes the universe is gonna throw you a little bit of a curveball. You're going to mess up your role, and you're gonna have to start over. That's just how it is sometimes. Thanks for answering, man. I asked because I'm making a big decision to go to college, and I wanted to know what you do. South Africa must not be so bad. Ever go wildlife viewing? See the cradle of humankind? Yeah, you know, it's fantastic to see the wildlife and stuff. But when there are people that, you know, don't don't have the ability to leave their township, you know, in the 40 years that they're alive, and there are other people that fly private jets wherever they go, it's such a it's disgusting, dude. It's not the way it's supposed to be. And that's why South Africa is bad. There is a lot of beauty in South Africa. There's a lot to do. There's a lot of wealth in South Africa as well, but there is a lot of suffering and a lot of people who aren't benefiting from this wealth as they're supposed to. Cool, he's lighting it. It's been lit, my friend. I'll light it again just for you. The playful spark, it has begun. Oh yes, it has. I feel like this has definitely been a joint that has been treating us well today. Mm-mm-mm. What does that matter, friend? Just enjoy the stream. Smoke your own if you can't wait. Hey, Nate, thank you for joining us, my friend. I mean, some people are tense, dude. Some people are but it is playful to watch it as well sometimes. You know, it makes me think, oh, so ideally. Because during this time, I was actually angry as well. My first ever psilocybin experience. I was at this friend's place, and me and him both had the experience, but two friends he had there didn't have the experience with us because they didn't want to buy themselves, some mushrooms, and we did. So right off the bat, there was that contention, like this, okay, you're gonna be tripping, we're not gonna be tripping. So while me and him is like in this experience, in the throes of it, if you will, with his other friend decides he's going to roll a joint. And we're sitting on the couch, like basically having conversations. And at some point, we kind of go silent in waiting for this joint. And it just feels like this dude is rolling this joint for years. Like he spent like maybe 25 minutes or something rolling this joint, which is long in terms of someone who is having a psychedelic experience. But my other friend got so, like the other the other person who was in the experience with me got so triggered. Like he got viscerally upset. He was like, "How are you taking so long? Like you said you could." And I was like, also kind of getting into this like feeling. I was like, "Yeah, you've been so long. It's been taking." Like I was kind of being playful with it as well. And I was just like, okay, this is an interesting experience. Being rushed. Where are we rushing towards? Where are we going? Calling Mr. Green Thumb. Today's the day. Ride that cow. Still no cows behind me, dude. I mean, this kind of looks like a cow. I can pretend it's a cow. We have a Kiki, but no cows. Opioids. Opioids can be bad, my friend. Intentions carry so much power. All of the power, Yater. We've seen it so many times before here. Hello, Nate. Do y'all hearts beat super fast when you smoke too? It depends. Like sometimes I'll get this warm feeling that rushes over my body. It depends on what the intention is or how I breathe beforehand, what I've eaten. Like there's so much that goes into it. Everything. Kiki, sis. Ooh, man, she stinks. She's been chewing dead things again, I guess. It's going to take 40 minutes smoking it as well. Probably longer, friends. Sometimes we don't even finish the joints. Jumper, so many friends. It's great, Nate, coming to co-create. So many friends. Yeah, I can see I'm like 15 minutes behind on the comments again. 15, that is, not 50. Oh, you're making me feel loved. You are loved, Nate. You better feel loved, friend. Because you are. Here we go. Sound is energy. Yes, it is. Who are your friends in real life? Do you have a girlfriend? My friends in real life, I guess I can name them. You friends know about them as well. Like Christian and Johan, I believe, are my closest real life friends right now. Then there's Heinrich and Adrian and Andre and Armand and David. I talk to them regularly. There's Leroy, there's Zoe, Adam and Marlies, technically. I'm saying technically because me and Adam used to be best friends, and now he doesn't talk to me anymore. I'm still talking to him. He's just not talking to me. So yeah, you don't get to choose whether you're my friend or not. I'm Do you have a job? Yes, I do, my friend. I'm at service of people. Are you Jewish? No, I'm not. I am more spiritually aligned than I am aligned to any theology, my friend. Our real life jobs have no bearing on who we really are. Real life means nothing. Yeah, it's another layer, another filter, another aspect of reality, ultimate reality. And it's a beautiful part of it. But it's not all of it. Not even a fraction of all of it. And in realizing that, and in realizing that not only is this reality a fraction of what is, but that you are that which is. And then oh, like seriousness falls away even faster. Yeah. It becomes a trip. This is real life. Everything we experience is real life. Man knows. Oh, merciless. Love to you nonetheless, my friend. There are about 398 dogs barking on my street currently. 398. One owner keeps screaming, Kiki, Kiki, you get back here right now, hoping to summon our Kiki. That's so cute. Like, I'm concerned about that, like, very specific 398 dogs number. I'm like visualizing that many dogs. Oh goodness. No. How much do they eat? A dog eats like what? Oh good. I get what the size of the dogs is makes a big difference as well. Let's try and find some sort of average. A kilogram a day? Some dogs eat a kilogram a day. They'll eat, oh goodness, they'll eat like almost 2 tons of food in 2 days. No, please no. That's way too many dogs, Kira. I'm tripping too much about it. I'm happy that they can't summon our Kiki. Those dogs must be hungry. At least learn how to hold your smokes right. I'm supposed to hold it like this? No, dude. It's comfortable holding it like this. Like my hand automatically folds my fingers together. My hand doesn't automatically pinch my thumb and my pointer finger together. You know, like this is something that happens automatically if I close my hand as well. This, however, I have to claw grip it. Technically, it takes more effort. I'm not that lazy, but I'm just trying to explain. Thank you for the power you're giving me. I appreciate that, Nate. Merciless. And sit back and chill with us, friend. Yeah, just relax. Just relax, dude. Tension you're feeling? Like, actually, something that you can do as an experiment, right? You can take your hands and you can clench them. Clench them really hard. Like, try and get your knuckles to go white, if you will. And then you think about something that brings tension in your life, ex relationship, boss, job that you have to do, this, that. And you think of that thing as this tension you're feeling in your fists. And then you just tell yourself, I want to let go of that. Yeah. It feels good. Let go of that tension, my friend. You smoke a bong, you're barely getting high if you think that's a super doobie, that shit tiny. Yeah, I was also not thinking it was that big, but I was just appreciating the love that person was sharing. I wasn't going to correct, like, oh, actually, this is small jointed compared to what I can roll. I'll show you a doobie, just like stacks multiple papers on top of themselves. Rolls one of those Chim and Chong joints. Yeah. There is no one proper way to roll, pack, hold, or smoke a plant. If it burns and you can inhale it, that's what matters. That means you're still smoking it. I couldn't agree more. I think that's Yater. That's Edmund. Close enough. No class. Merciless. I can see you're definitely being merciless, my friend. Living up to the name, and I can respect that completely. ACC account, there is a right way dumb. Yes. Why are people so quick to hate, but they find it so hard to love? Harry Blotter, a beautiful name as well. I'll think about that, as I smoke. Take a single puff. Well, the reason I think, and this is, completely subjective, the reason I think people hate instead of love is because it's quite literally easier. On a fundamental level, on a bodily level as well, we're more aligned towards hatred, violence, fear, resource hoarding than we are with, an enlightened state of living, if you will. And we're not doing that because we're evil fundamentally. We're doing that because maybe we're animalistic fundamentally. So on that level, on an animalistic level, we've basically been born and equipped with so much DNA information as to how to survive and thrive in an environment that is hostile. So, on that level, on that hostility prerequisite slash expectation, the human body slash the human experience has been one of hostility, and one that had to fight and had to, squabble for, the resource that it could get its hands on. Now, as a collective humanity and society, we have reached a point where resources are no longer as scarce. People, the general population, still has food. There is enough food waste right now to feed the entire world, but we don't have proper distribution networks to actually do that. So on that level, we have enough food, we have enough clothing, we have enough electricity. Well, we don't have enough power just yet, but we have enough to give to the rest of the world as well. We just don't have the proper distribution networks to do so. So on that level as well, we have been catering towards these animalistic needs, and now we're starting to move into the era where spirituality can be something that is almost now a luxury that can be afforded. Whereas in our prior existence as humanity, as more animalistic beings living on this planet, we couldn't afford those luxuries. It's difficult. It is difficult still. But we're starting to make those changes. We're starting to choose love instead of hate. Something that Toasty usually says, Kira as well, I think. When the love for power overcomes... No. When the power of love overcomes the love of power, we'll have peace. And that's what's happening right now, hopefully. I think at least with our current generation of people being born, that is the case. Hurt people. That's a good one as well. Unfortunately, we get into a world where we're very frequently hurt as well, Nate. And at some point, we have to take some responsibility for perpetuating that hurt. Hate to love, love to hate. Loving is easy and rewarding. Hating is damaging and hurts the people who are doing it the most. Again, I think it's just a biological act almost at some level, Harry Blotter. Haters gonna hate, period. That is true as well. I'm trying to imagine all the wrong ways to hold a J and laughing uncontrollably. Yes. I actually want to do it like this. Even worse. Who am I triggering? This is the correct way to hold the joint. One of the fingers. In my ear. Oh, it hurts actually. My body is repelling. Maybe it's the laughing because I'm smoking. People hate. People love to hate on Reddit. They do. They do. People love to hate on things in general. Because it's easier to hate on things than to accept your judgment of yourself. I don't know what that noise is about. I'm sorry. There's so much of it happening. I love your name. Me too, actually. Every time I read it, I'm like, yeah. I know what that means. Yeah, because everyone here is soft AF. A lot of people are. Not everyone. Broek Piopard. Ek is van Suid-Afrika of my own. I don't know if you are, but it sounds like it might be. Convivial. What? Hey, Bob, thank you for joining us, my friend. So nice to have you here again. How have you been? Kira says, love makes us vulnerable. Hate can give some people's feelings of having power over something when they feel out of control. Or maybe that's a small part of it. That's 100%. Again, with that animalistic nature, when you practice that violence, that power, that hatred, then it gives you that animalistic sense of power. Because you're on a fundamental level, if you have a gun in a social environment and you take out the gun and you start to threaten those people, they suddenly, submit to you. They go on their knees if you tell them to. They're in fear of you. So on biological, I am the strongest monkey level, that could be something that gives that person a sense of power. But on a spiritual slash, ethics slash, how do you explain this? Perpetuating of soul level, you're damaging yourself and you're stealing power from yourself by trying to take it from these people. So, for example, you as one person now feel so powerful, but you're keeping, for example, 20 people hostage. So, in the grand scheme of the universe, there is the loss of power for 20 people, and then maybe the conceptual gain of power to one person. But you are that that whole, you are those 21 people. So technically you now have stolen more from yourself than you could ever potentially hope to gain. And it's difficult to conceptualize that, and especially difficult to explain it to people in that way, in a way that they will accept it or believe it for themselves. Love makes me feel more powerful than hate. I'm happy to hear that. That's a good thing. Kira, I was typing the exact same thing, but didn't end up sending it. You are so right. You are so in tune as well, Yater. It's so people don't realize this. Same here. And here's Kiki is hating is easy. It's easy to find a problem, but love is productive. Be the solution. I am a magic summoner. I wouldn't be surprised, Kira. I wouldn't, take that power away from you either. Where are you? Hey, Mariah. Mariah? Where's Mrs. Mosey? Oh, there she is. Hey, Mariah. Thank you for joining us. You have been subbed. So much love. How are you? I'm doing well, Trick. How are you doing, my friend? There's a dog? There was. Kiki! Kiki, ze woeft daar. Let's see if I could summon her effectively. Hopefully she comes. For a second, so I can show you. But she is a stinky dog right now. Where is this? Netherlands? No, South Africa, my friend. I wish. No, I don't wish anything. I'm supposed to be where I am to learn what I'm supposed to learn. Yes, I live in Africa. I am cautiously optimistic for Matrix 4. I mean, the first poster looks kind of fire. It looks very appealing, very drawing. I mean, like for me, the thing with movies as well, I go in with very limited expectations. Not in a way that I don't expect to enjoy myself, but more in a let's see what story what they want to tell. Not to expect anything, not to be like, oh, can they tell that story? Why are they telling the story this way? Just to be like, okay, let's see what story they tell. And I'm also someone that's very fascinated in like camera work and people's portrayal of characters. So I would be more invested in the way things are shot and how things look and how things transition and how the story like progresses and how people portray their character and how their character changes throughout the movie than I would be in the actual context of the movie. And I mean, maybe that makes me a bad movie watcher, but it does allow me to enjoy movies with high success rates, if you will. I enjoy like 95% of movies I watch as a result. So maybe that's a good thing. But it does make me a bad person to recommend a movie to someone else because what might be a potentially interesting movie to me might just be ass to someone who watches movies for one thing or another, if you will. I'm a professional dog groomer. I'll give your sweet puppy a bath. Oh, Mariah, I would take you up on that. Just open a portal, pop her through there. You give her a quick bath, pop her back through the portal for me. Lloyd, yeah, South Africa is right, my friend. He has Mount Morris in South Africa. Thank you, Yater, for letting him know as well. Show us the dog. The dog is a little being of her own, merciless. Unfortunately, she only respects the summons when she's in earshot, I believe. Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay. Made some noise. Was standing on one leg. When I looked over to him, put leg down, opened said wings, flapped them a little bit, trying to establish dominance. Like I'm so intrigued. You know, I know these things are fundamental, but the fact that they're fundamental is one of the things that intrigues me as well. You know, we have these things. They weren't here last year, but now they are. We have decided to bring these beings, freaking cobra chickens, onto our property, and they make noise sometimes. Fortunately, they didn't make noise close to my. They enjoy this area because they eat a bunch of. I think they eat some of the grass. Actually, they eat some of the bugs. They're basically constantly fertilizing. They take care of some of the pests, so it's a win-win-win all around. But they do make noise sometimes. And my brother, like, he's very trigger happy, and he'll talk about like, yes, sometimes when the geese make these noise in the morning, I'll feel like shooting them or something. He'll say, and then like we have these beings. We've decided to have these beings just here to show you. Look at these dudes just like watching me as well. Hey, yeah. Talking about you, dude. About you. You gonna say hi? Right? And we do the same thing with dogs. We do the same thing with cats, hamsters, rats, and snakes. We just kind of kidnap these beings or make them used to a new environment. And they're kind of cool with it. You know? Yeah, this dude is just like away. New place I live. Guess I'm gonna be doing stuff again. I'm just leveling that thing out again. There we go. Should be good. Sorry, we're getting into a trip about having other beings live around us. It just fascinates me. That is something so normal for us as well. We don't question it too much. And there's so much of it. Just millions and millions of different beings, of which we're just one. And yet we think of ourselves as this. Yeah, this. Us humans. That's it. That's it. No. Not just yet, dude. Relax. There's still much to come. Yeah, one little known fact about my neighbor is that each household must own at least 50 dogs. Okay, so maybe I was exaggerating on it. 50 dogs per person. I mean, I can guarantee you your neighborhood doesn't have any crime problems, so maybe there is some sort of silver lining to be found. There are like 20 joint grips that all have names. Oh. Toasty knows, of course. I mean, he literally has Toasty in his freaking username. Of course, Toasty would know about the 20 different joint grips. Merciless. Well, you have to say now, dude. You're gonna claim 20 people were different or wrong about their joint grips. How do you? I mean, some of them, I guess, you can do reversed as well. So there would be potential for even more joint grips that way. But I'm gonna stick with what's comfortable to me. Thank you, Merciless. When I'm trying to find advice on how I'm supposed to hold my joints, I'll come to you first, I promise. I have a diagram / meme on this. I'll post in the Discord. Please do. That sounds amazing. You should get rid of the two finger hold. What country are you in? South Africa, Klitzy. Why? I'm curious. Why? I used to love smoking weed, but now it gives me anxiety. Do you set intentions before you smoke? Or do you just smoke to get high when you smoke hashish? I'm curious, my friend. South Africa, big brain time. Thank you, Len. I appreciate you so much. How have you been? The biggest problem with this grip, other than it looking weak, is that it is actually is weak. My friend, I don't care about looking tough or looking. Hey, relax. Yeah, relax. I don't care about looking tough, dude. I don't know if that was me trying to look tough. Was it? Now I'm overanalyzing. Picturing myself. No, I just wanted peace and quiet. No, dude, I don't care about looking tough What does it matter, dude? Do you think someone is gonna care? You think I'm I think I'm strong on the scale of this planet? You know, they are tectonic plates. They just push millions, millions and millions and millions of tons of rock just upwards. Kilometers, okay, hundreds of meters at least. Some of them goes up kilometers. You know, I can like maybe lift at max like my own body weight plus some, right? No, dude. A human being is very weak. I don't have to try to prove any of my strength. I'm just a human. That's what I am. Mm-mm-mm. When the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will know peace. Jimi Hendrix. Thank you. Thank you, Toasty, for reminding me as well, my friend. How playful, I love it. Thanks for the shiver and Mel taking it home. Love to you, my friend. Lamar, this one's called The Face Palm. I'm happy that you're getting to the weird joint holding now. The noise was the source energy in it. Mm-mm. I am late, but still, I love you all. You're not late, Infamous One. You're here exactly when you needed to be, my friend. Thank you for sharing the space with us. Lol, like breathing through a coffee straw. Mm. Hey there. Hey, Ninja. It's so nice to have you here, my friend. It's been 10 minutes since you sent your message. I'm sorry if you're not here anymore, but I'm sending you good vibes. Thank you for sharing the space with us, if even for a second. I like the new reply option. It's nice, right? Infamous One. I can see, like, I can. Okay, so now. Now I wanna like ask something, like suggest something. Is it safe for me to skip over some of the replied messages? Like not all of them, but I try and skip through some of them because if I read through all of them, we're gonna be here forever. I'm here, Katie. You're here. Thank you for joining us. Bless you, Yater. Thank you so much, my friend. What's up? You were talking about the sneeze, I'm guessing as well. What's up, the people? We're doing good. How are you doing? Also, can't wait for M4. M4. I don't know what that is. I think I spelled it wrong again. Maybe. I have no idea what M4 is. Edmund is here. At least I'm here. Hey, how are you all today? I'm doing well, Katie. How about you, my friend? How is your relations been? I don't know how to ask that question. You know the question I want to ask. If you're willing to share, my friend, we're here to listen. Drinking coffee and with my face, peeps, and living in SA. Vigorously through face peeps. I meant fave peeps. Okay, I was about to say chilly here with my face and all. Yes, yes. I mean, I'm pretty sure all of us are here with our faces. I mean, if any of you friends, there's no judgment, obviously. But if you're here without your face, if your face is in the other room, then we have even more problems, Kate. Man, like I'm just imagining some ex machina level shit with someone just detaching their face, putting it in the other room, putting it in the UV sterilizer or something. Goes to the bathroom, brushes teeth without a face on. And I'm sorry, stop thinking about these things. Do you consider yourself a minimalist? I do, my friend, at least to some extent. I haven't bought anything. And that is true. Well, I'm trying to say I haven't bought anything this year, but I've not bought anything for myself this year. Okay, that I can say, fortunately. So yeah, I'm trying to at least going into the future as well live a minimalist life, my friend. How about you? You're Matt? I'll call you Matt or 8-bit or 8-it. But your name is too much, dude. MIIXXXNMAT88YIT. Oh goodness. 8-it? 8-it. That works. 8-it? I'll call you 8-it, friend. Thank you for joining us. Are you a minimalist? Are you considering it? I left my face off for this stream. I'm so happy that you told that joke as well, Edmund. Yo, Sam, can't feel my face when I'm with you. Yeah. Any Liberty cabs out yet? We don't have any Liberty cabs here in South Africa, unfortunately. Shucks. If only. Would be sick. You sound South African. I very much am South African with the brains. How about you, friend? How would you know that I sound South African? Just got some yesterday. I was so happy for you, Gilly. That sounds amazing, my friend. Did you consume them yesterday? How many grams did you manage to gather yesterday? I'm really curious. Intentions before smoking is a must. Absolutely, Yater. Absolutely. Ghost Dog, your words have me inspire imagining which species we will bring with when colonizing other planets in the future. That's a great question, Dog Ghost. And thank you for joining us, my friend. It's so nice to have you here again. We're probably going to take mostly insects because you can produce protein with insects more efficiently than you would be able to do it with any other animal. So probably insects, dude. Unfortunately, I don't think we're gonna take much other animals. Oh goodness, I'm just imagining they're probably gonna take rats, dude, or mice to experiment on. So there's gonna be rat infestations on future Mars cities. You can probably bet. Oh man, yeah, rats, dude. Rats are gonna come with us as humanity probably. Unless, no, technically, we're going to eventually figure out how to do, entire human body simulations through AI computers. And you can even do so down to the level of like DNA slash, protein interaction, stuff like that. So eventually we'll be able to have the technology to prototype potential medicines, potential treatments through complete, machinery, if you will, or AI or computer rendering instead of having to do it on mice slash human subjects. So probably just insects. Hopefully just insects. Mm. Oh well, that makes sense now. Angry duck. Yeah, freaking cobra chickens, bro. That goose is losing his shit. What happens after the plates? Can't push up anymore. There's no can't push up anymore. They would just like eventually penetrate, what you would think of as space. I think they're probably fighting against gravity to some extent as well. Like they would only be able to permeate that far. Because if you look at the cross section of like Mount Everest, for example, on the crust of the planet, it is still even very small. Very, very, very small. So I don't think there is any limitations to that. Just time, if anything. And then maybe the natural elements trying to erode that mountain back as well as it tries to, permeate, grow. The sun will blow us up first, don't worry. Yeah. Way before. Hey, Buddy McMurray, it's nice to have you here again. How have you been, friend? It's been a while. It's nice to see you. Or we will mesh not another Pangea. We'll lose many species, but gain some in the evolution to come. Have you seen Matrix 4? Oh, the Matrix 4. Okay, there we go. More species to come. Have you seen All Tomorrows? It's not like it sounds. Oh, All Tomorrows. That sounds lighthearted and fascinating. No, fascinating. Yes, lighthearted. No, it's very much a yikes. It's not for the lighthearted. I wouldn't recommend you watch it if weird potential futures is something that creeps you out. But All Tomorrows kind of is this written series by this person who suggests different types of tomorrows where like an alien species comes to Earth and then genetically modifies all humans in different ways, or actually humans become evolved enough throughout our progress and then expand to different planets, and then a weird alien species come and they're far advanced to us and they genetically modify us and turn us into these horrible subspecies. It's a yikes, very much a yikes. But it kind of made me think of what you just said. You know which reply to skip and which ones not to. This is the way. This is the way, Yater. Have you heard about Matrix? I haven't, Mosey. Well, Mosey. I wonder if Agent Smith will be in it. I hope it is good. I just hope Keanu Reeves isn't in it. I don't know if Agent Smith is Agent Smith. No, Agent Smith is the. I have absolutely no idea. I can't even guess. Infamous One, thank you for the love, my friend. Small and easy to migrate. Makes sense. Mm. Receiving love, sending love. You got mail. You got mail. You're loved, my friend. How do you feel about happiness as a culprit for apathy? It's been hard feeling content when there is so much wrong with the world. Hmm. That's a good question. Ate it. Okay, I'll read it again even. How do you feel about happiness as a culprit for apathy? It's been hard feeling content when there is so much wrong with the world. I think it might just be one of the hardest things you can ask yourself. And it's one I've been asking myself a lot as well. And I was hoping that in trying to think about it in this space, I would be allowed a little bit more insight. But I'm having a hard time with it as well. It's something I asked yesterday about how we have this almost aversion slash resistance towards being happy. And a friend ask yourself, why is it I'm fighting being happy? And the answer that came to me as well, and it's not exactly the same as what you're asking, but the answer that came to me is that how can I be happy when there is so much sadness and so much hurt and suffering happening in the world? And I feel it's almost the same. Again, your question is just now apathy and happiness, or happiness and apathy as being content when there is suffering in the world. I think it's because we have this egoic way of trying to identify one way of doing things and then try to align ourselves at the point where we're like, we are this and that is that. We don't allow ourselves any feelings of contentment while always also trying at the same time to bring in our own way positive change, influence into the world. What can be seen as apathy to one person can be seen as hard work to another. It just depends on how you frame these things, how you value things. And one thing that's very important as well is for us to value our own, values first. Because if you try and value someone else's values, you're going to be living someone else's life. Again, with this apathy question, what is in your value system apathy can be seen as hard work to someone else when it comes to whatever it is you're doing. For example, if you're going to be working on like a film, and this film requires you to take like time-lapse footage of something that happens over a long time, and you're spending 9 months taking this film, and you have to like go out to this area, so it takes you hours to get there, takes you hours to set up, you take footage for X amount of hours, and then you take hours to get back. So you were spending hours and hours, and at the end of this 9 month you have a 10-second clip. So to one person that can be seen as, oh, that is apathy. You spent 9 months of your life to create this 10-second clip. And to another person it can be seen like, what? You worked that hard to create this piece of art? What? That's amazing. And that's That is the difference. That is the difference we make for ourselves as well. Thank you for that question, Ated. That's my take on it. Uh, what does it stream? What does it stream on E? Agent Smith is the Antichrist. His parallel. Why would you die? Cause I'm you, bitch. What? Are you tripping? Are you tripping, Katie? What the fuck? I feel like I'm tripping just reading your messages. Mr. Anderson versus Agent Smith is the original and sequel. I'm so confused right now. Why are you always contemplating? A serious question. The dude said, how do I answer your question without contemplation? Because. Yeah. Eat it. I'm sorry, dude. That's why. That's literally why. Because if I contemplate, then I'm asking myself a question from a serious place, right? I'm not just giving you an answer to get my answer out, like because. That's why I contemplate. I contemplate because I want to give you a genuine response. I want to tell you something that comes from my depth. And how am I supposed to reach my depth if I don't try and contemplate it? When there are no more questions, then what is there? Then there is the not know mind that forgets that there ever was such a thing as a question. And then it gets introduced to a single word again. And the whole process starts over, my friend. And by the way, how is the weed in South Africa? I am 100% biased, Senna, because I grow my own weed. So the weed is fantastic here in South Africa. But I cannot actually give you a proper response because I've not paid for weed in like 4 years. So a lot changes in 4 years. Weed has become decriminalized in our country in that 4 years. So yeah, the weed is decent, by at least most people's standards. And affordable. And that's what's more important to a lot of people as well. There will always be questions. We were either made or evolved to have missing puzzle pieces, so we always quest to find. You know what's the weird part about this reality? It's the fact that this reality, just this one that we're finding ourselves in right now, has multiple layers of consciousness, right? Me and Eva have different layers of consciousness, yet we're residing in the same physical plane of existence. So there's like this differentiation in this plane of existence, right? And it goes up to the point where, like, if you have a viciously super advanced silicon based society or alien species, they would be able to Dyson sphere entire stars and then use that as their means for processing. So imagine how smart you think you are and how much food you eat in a day, right? So I know it's not a one-to-one, but let's try to correlate the amount of food you ate to the amount of thoughts and smarts you have. And then imagine how much energy is in the food you've eaten. And then compare that to the energy that a sun emits, or a star emits. Okay? So just imagine the level of consciousness that a being like that would be able to achieve. And yet it would still be in this physical plane of existence. So is there, or what is there in the next plane? And just imagine how complex that must be if it's in the next plane, when there could be things in this plane that can be, unfathomably complex. It trips me out. It melts my brain. Mm-hmm. Oh, Lamau. I'm quoting the movie, okay. Except the bitch, but like every quote just whoo, shoo, over my head, Katie. Where are you? Wow, are you a hippie? What is the meaning of life? Hippie in the way that you asked it, yes. Hippie stands, at least the acronym stands for highly intellectual person pursuing inner enlightenment. And if I have to identify with anything, then that sounds like something I would want to identify with. And the meaning of life, The shortest way I can say it would be love, my friend. Nothing is going to serve you in the way that love will serve you in this life. No amount of money, no amount of experience, no amount of sex, no amount of houses or cars will ever serve you as much as love. Be it the love that you have for yourself, be it the love that you have for your significant other, your dog, even your job. These are the things that are more important, your immediate felt fact. All of it's the meaning of life, my friend. None of it is not the meaning of life. And if any of it wasn't the meaning of life, then it wouldn't be a part of life. Ba-dum-bum-ba-dum-bum. Hippie slag. Do you grow outdoor? Yeah, I do actually. Thank you for asking, my friend. How about you, hooligans? And thank you for joining us. Meltmore, hey Slav, thank you for joining us, my friend. No weed, 3 days, no sleep for me. Are you having some dreams as well, in the little bit of sleep you're getting? I know that when I cease to smoke weed, I have like an uptick of weird dreams. New feature needs. I'm guessing he's talking about the reply option as well, Katie. Is he like 45 minutes behind the chat? Cause the Tasmanian is at 1:32 a.m. on Thursday. No, Slav, I'm like 2 minutes behind today. Not doing too bad. On mobile, I can reply to the comment. That is right. But how? Without tagging people? You have to update your app, I'm guessing, Katie, if you're on iPhone as well. There's a little reply arrow. Are you Macedonian? No, I'm South African, my friend. Gurav, greetings, goobers. Hey, Gav, thank you for joining us, my friend. It's been a while. How have you been? How's life been? Has life been fair? How's Trigger been? I've been sending him good vibes. How have you been, my friend? I love the concept of the expansion of consciousness and the universe. I like to entertain the thought that they correlate. I think so as well. I mean, our universe is still technically in its infancy. That's the real trip. Like, we are like the babies. The first babies of the baby universe. Right on the tip of the spear of existence. Instead of being inert matter on one of the billions of planets that exist out there, we are animated matter on one of the billion planets out there in the universe. And it's sick. It's so cool. Is she on a higher plane than you? I have no idea, dude. Hey, G-Unit. I mean, not G-Unit. How are you doing, my friend? Hippie is right. Why you do this multi-dimensional travel, Meltmore? To me, to you, Slav, as well. To all of us, my friend. Like, there's no multi-dimensionality to it other than the egoic understanding of it. Because the egoic understanding of it, allow us to visualize things in a way like that. But you are the encompassing of all of it as well. Or as a part of it, as you are all of it, if you will. Sex is out of this world. If there is love, that is truth love. We all goobers. I read a book called The Zahir. Deals with that. It's fiction. I hear you, budgetless. We're not talking about anything as if it's fact. We're just talking. We're expressing ourselves. We're feeling into things. And like all of the things I'm choosing to say, I'm not speaking as an authority. How am I supposed to know? I'm 23 years old. I'm like an actual kid, dude. I don't know anything. But I say things that feel true to me. And if they feel true to you, then that is your truth. Don't take my truths. Feel what is true to you. And take that as your truth. Live in the felt fact of your immediate experience. What you feel right now is fact. That is your immediate experience. Live in that. That's all we can expect of one another. Where are you? At full. Haven't you asked that question like a bunch of times? I live in South Africa, my friend. I'm a goofy. Good answers. I'm happy you appreciate them, friend. Oh man, I'm sleepy. The storm isn't helping. It's been clearing up at least a little bit here. Yeah, I think you would actually be able to see it clear up behind me as this video progresses. Hey Majin, thank you for joining us, my friend. How have you been? Have you experienced astral projection? Like, if you read what astral projection is, I would say yes. But if you read what you need to do, or what some people do to achieve astral projection, I would say no. So it's like a little bit of a toss-up. But like I'll tell you about some of the experiences that I do have. In like meditation, I can find myself as consciousness, awareness, as I, floating through different dimensions and then meeting different entities. Sometimes going into darker dimensions, seeing frightening stuff, horrible stuff. Sometimes going into lighter dimensions, seeing beautiful stuff. And in that way, some people would consider that astral projection. I consider it to some extent imagination, you know? So, like, I don't know. Like, or if it's not either one of those, it could be this awakening / opening / acceptance of what is, you know, beyond just this physical plane of existence. It doesn't need to be labeled, is the thing. It's what maybe that's the thing that irks me. Totally crazy dreams. I get you. Ate it. I totally get you. Sleep a little, my friend. It would help. Hey, buddy. Prestigious task. You're still alive? Missed you, my friend. How have you been? How's life been treating you? It's been so long. It's so nice to have you here again. Thank you so much for joining us. Melt more. Love you, as you know. Love you too, Slav. How's Tasmania been? Sending you so much good vibes. Trillions of planets in our solar system. Millions of stars. Yeah. I know. You know what I was trying to get at as well. It's just, there's a lot. There's a lot of static nothingness. And yet here we are. Non-static, ever-changingness. And it's sick. It's so cool. Majin, hey my friend. Oop, double posted. Technical difficulties. Don't worry about it at all, my friend. How have you been, Majin? How have you been, my friend? It's nice to see you here again. Maybe a nap in the afternoon if I get the chance. That sounds very divine. Bottled water. Is it well water on your property? Yeah, it is. It is, my friend. Fortunately, it is. Like, it's just rebottled, if you will. Open tap, fill bottle with water. You know, like I really have a hard time carrying water around with me without a bottle. It just really doesn't want to stay in my hands. Even when I try and put it in my pockets, it just goes all over the place. So the bottle helps. Boo! And the promised land. No, my friend. That's not how ghosts scare people. You have to set it up. You have to like have, you know, creaking windows, you know, slamming against the frames. You have to have cupboards opening and closing, lights flickering, and then you hit me with the boo. You have to build it up, dude. Otherwise, it doesn't hit as hard. If the universe is infinite, are we forever in this infancy? So, my mind is just like bubbling. So, okay. Yes and no. Yes, on the fifth dimensional way of looking at it, where everything is always happening in the same moment. The infancy and the death is contained within that whole. In a linear way, no. In like the progression of our universe and the inevitable heat death of it, there is still going to be a linear changing of that, changing of, or like the maturity level of the universe and then the beings that might find themselves in it. So I don't think the infancy continues on this plane of existence, but it is encapsulated in the next, if you will. But I know nothing. I'm literally just shooting blanks in the dark, like maybe doof. Nope. hit nothing. Boop! But I'm shooting blank, so there's nothing coming out of my gun, and there's nothing to be hit. Yeah? Yeah, too much. I'm sorry. I'll stop. Bro, I'm still alive, Papa. Been missing your live videos, but we finally link up. Having a good sesh. Doing good. I'm happy to hear that, my friend. It's so nice to have you here again. Welcome back, my friend. I am Burley. I'll shine on if you do too, my friend. Thank you for joining us here again. My work contract has been extended and they gave me a raise. I don't have to worry about finding a new workplace and moving to a new city until February. That's really nice of them. So not only, okay, I'm trying to gather my horses. Did you want to stop working for your current employer? First question. Did your employer want you to stop working for them? And do you already know where you want to be working? Because you're saying that you want to move as well. Find a new workplace and moving to a new city until February. So you've already made a decision, I'm guessing, to move to said new city. And you've let your employer know about this decision. And instead of just canceling your contract, they have now extended your contract and given you a raise in preparation for you to move. That sounds like you're just like reaping in the blessings, Marjan. That sounds amazing, my friend. I'm so happy for you. Sure, but the plastic leaks out in your water. Just concerned, buddy. Glass is the way. You're right, Aiden. Like, I do fill these bottles of water just before I stream. So the amount of time it has to seep is like maybe max, an hour before I drink it. But you are right. Ideally, glass is the way. I can be a little bit of a brute sometimes. Glass breaks. No, the universe will have an end. This universe will have an end. But, what is consciousness can be seen as something that is dimensionless. And something that is dimensionless doesn't have to end in something that is the end of that dimension, if you will. Heard of any good native African music lately? No, I don't listen to much native African music, unfortunately, Tiefer. How about you, friend? There just might be more or a rebirth. We can just keep expanding without freezing. A way that me and my friends like to visualize, Christian likes to visualize an infinity symbol, continuously going upwards. Where, for me, if you take the infinity symbol and you cut these little sides off and you ship this to the side, you just continue this infinity symbol like that, and then it makes a sine wave, and then you have the other sine wave going through it like that. So it becomes this infinity symbol, this sine wave, this DNA helix strand that just ever permeates the existence, opening up to all of existence and then closing back down, and then opening back up and closing back down. But who knows? Can we see Eva? Hello, my friend. So happy to see you again. It is Hendrix Lyrics stealing his lines. Oh. Eva is also a little being of her own. Eva! Toefters! Eva! Try to summon her. Unsummonable, unfortunately, my friend. I work 3-month-long contracts at hospitals anywhere in the US, but the current hospital was like, hey, actually you should stay here for 6 months, and by the way, here, have more money. I mean, we're not going to say no, Marjan. When the universe sends us more money, we say, thank you, universe. I appreciate it, and I say thank you to you. My friends, I say thank you to you today. Thank you so much for joining me in this space, for being here with me. It means more than you know. I love you, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone.